Hello everyone, I hope you are doing well. Have you ever heard about the Mandela Effect? It is a phenomenon in which a large group of people share the false memory of a specific detail about something that is commonly known. The most common example of the Mandela Effect is people misremembering the lyrics to songs, like the line, "We are the champions, my friends." From Queen's, "We are the champions." Many people distinctly remember this lyric, but if you look up the actual lyrics, it says, "We are the champions, my friends," with no S at the end of friends. Now, some may say that this is simply a case of misremembering lyrics, but there are other instances of the Mandela Effect that are much more strange and eerie. For example, many people vividly remember Nelson Mandela dying in prison in the 1980s from AIDS. However, when you look into his death, he actually died in 2013 from respiratory problems after being released from prison and serving as South Africa's first black president. In fact, he was 95 years old at the time of his death. So, how can so many people remember him dying decades before this, when he wasn't even sick? There are also plenty of instances of the Mandela Effect. When it comes to movies, for example, many people remember the line, "Here's looking at you, kid," from the movie Casablanca, but the character actually says, "Here's looking at you, Rick." There are also examples of movie posters that are completely different from the ones we have today, such as the poster for the original 1990 version of Home Alone, which featured a very different image than the one we are all familiar with today. It's interesting to note that when people are shown images of the correct versions of these things, they still maintain their false memories. For example, if someone shows a photo of Nelson Mandela from 2013, people will still insist that he looks frail and sick, as if he were dying of AIDS. Similarly, if someone plays the song, "We are the champions," and points out the lyric, "my friends," people will still insist that there is an S at the end of friends. So what exactly is going on here? Why do so many people share these false memories? Well, the Mandela Effect has been explained away by psychologists as simply a case of false memory or the misremembering of information. According to this explanation, our memories are not perfect and can be distorted over time. Additionally, memories can also be influenced by our beliefs and expectations, as well as the information we are exposed to after the event we are trying to remember. For example, if we read about Nelson Mandela's death in a newspaper or watch a documentary about it, we may incorporate this information into our memories of the event, even if it didn't actually happen the way we remember it. This explanation makes sense in some cases, but it doesn't really explain why so many people seem to remember things in exactly the same way. If our memories are so unreliable, how can we be so sure that everyone else is misremembering things along with us? Well, according to some, the Mandela Effect isn't just a case of false memory, but actual proof that parallel universes exist. Let me explain. According to this theory, our consciousness is constantly slipping between parallel worlds and dimensions. When this happens, we experience a glitch in our reality that causes the world around us to shift. We may find ourselves in a world where history has taken a different path, where logos and movie lines are different than what we remember, and where major historical events didn't happen the way we think they did. These shifts in reality can cause us to misremember certain details, leading to the Mandela Effect. For example, let's say that in one universe, Nelson Mandela died of AIDS in the 1980s. In another universe, he didn't die of AIDS, and instead lived to be 95 years old. If our consciousness is slipping between these two universes, we may find ourselves experiencing both versions of this Mandela Effect, leading us to believe that we have a false memory of his death. Similarly, if in one universe, the character in Casablanca says, "Here's looking at you, kid," but in another universe, he says, "Here's looking at you, Rick," we may find ourselves experiencing both versions of this line, leading us to believe that we have a false memory of the line "Here S, looking at you, kid." This theory of the Mandela Effect is quite fascinating as it proposes the existence of multiple universes and the possibility that we are able to slip between them. However, it is important to note that this is just a theory, and there's no scientific evidence to support the idea that parallel universes exist or that our consciousness is able to slip between them. Proponents of this theory often cite instances of the Mandela Effect as evidence. But as we have discussed, these instances can also be explained by false memory and the misremembering of information. That being said, the Mandela Effect remains a popular topic of discussion among those who are interested in the paranormal and the multiverse. Some have even taken it upon themselves to investigate further by attempting to induce the Mandela Effect themselves. This is done through a process known as reality shifting, which involves focusing one's thoughts and intentions on a specific outcome in order to bring about a desired reality. For example, some people have reported being able to shift realities by repeating a phrase over and over again, such as "I am the richest person in the world," or "I am the most successful person in the world." By focusing their thoughts and intentions on this phrase, they are able to shift realities and find themselves in a world where this phrase is true. However, it is important to note that these claims have not been scientifically verified and remain in the realm of speculation and personal belief. In conclusion, the Mandela Effect is a fascinating phenomenon that has captured the attention of many people around the world. While there is no scientific evidence to support the idea that parallel universes exist or that our consciousness is able to slip between them, it remains a popular topic of discussion among those who are interested in the paranormal and the multiverse. Whether or not one believes in the Mandela Effect and the theory that it is caused by shifts in parallel universes, it is a reminder of the power of our own memories and the fallibility of our perception of reality. Our memories can be incredibly powerful and influential on how we view the world around us, but they are also incredibly fragile and susceptible to change. What do you think? Is the Mandela Effect simply a case of misremembering, or is it evidence of parallel universes? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. And if you enjoyed this video, please leave a like and subscribe for more. I would also like to take a moment to thank our sponsors. Their generous support allows us to continue producing quality videos that we hope you enjoy. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you in the next video. Now, some may argue that the Mandela Effect is just a fun little quirk of human memory and nothing more. But what if there's something deeper going on here? What if these shared false memories are actually glitches in the fabric of reality? Moments when our world briefly overlaps with another and we catch a glimpse of an alternate universe. Imagine for a moment that every time we experience the Mandela Effect, we are actually shifting realities. Each time we misremember a detail, we are crossing over into a parallel world where that detail is different. In this world, Nelson Mandela died in the 1980s. In this world, the line "Here's looking at you, kid," is from Casablanca. These alternate universes exist simultaneously, and we are constantly slipping back and forth between them without even realizing it. This may sound like a far-fetched idea, but it's not as crazy as it seems. After all, the Mandela Effect has been observed countless times, and there are thousands of people who have experienced it firsthand. If our memories are so unreliable, then how can so many people remember things in exactly the same way? The answer, perhaps, lies in the very nature of reality itself. What if our world is not as solid and stable as we think it is? What if it's actually made up of shifting layers, like an onion, with each layer representing a different reality, a different universe? And what if we are able to slip between these layers, to cross over into different realities whenever we experience the Mandela Effect? If this is true, then the implications are staggering. It means that there are infinite versions of ourselves out there, each living in its own unique reality, experiencing its own unique version of life. It means that we are not bound to the world we currently inhabit, but are free to explore the vast multiverse at any time we choose. Of course, this is just a theory, and there is no concrete evidence to support it. But the Mandela Effect remains a fascinating phenomenon that has captured the imagination of many people around the world. Perhaps one day we will discover that our world is not what it seems, and that we are all capable of shifting realities at will. Until then, the Mandela Effect will continue to baffle and amaze us, reminding us that there may be more to our world than we can ever imagine. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please leave a like and subscribe for more. We would also like to take a moment to thank our sponsors. Their generous support allows us to continue producing quality videos that we hope you enjoy.